Are you ready to finally make that dream a reality? Maybe it's updating your kitchen, paying down high-interest credit cards, or covering tuition. Your home is more than where you live. It's also your most powerful asset. At Unlock, we make it simple to turn equity into options. With a home equity agreement, you can access cash today without taking on monthly payments. Imagine the freedom to invest in your home, reduce financial stress, or finally start that big project you've been putting off. It's your home. It's your future. Unlock it today. Visit unlock.com to learn more about a home equity agreement. That's unlock.com to learn more.
Terms and conditions apply. Not all homeowners will qualify. Not available in all states. Actor Portrayal. Home equity agreements are offered by Unlock Home Equity Solutions, Inc. In certain states, NMLS number 2657081. Visit www.consumeraccess.org for more info.
Next thing I know, I'm knocking on the door, and she sees me, and she jumps into my arms. Of course, she hauls me into the bedroom, and
she cracked your head open, didn't she?
This scar right here is courtesy of that experience. And so we spent. This was on a Sunday. We spent the rest of that day in an emergency room in the largest hospital in Genoa, 8 hours. And that was another time when I knew I'd found the right one, because she could have gotten up and left at any time. And she hadn't eaten that day, and she was starving. And I said, please go out and get something to eat. She wouldn't leave. She stayed there from 4 p.m. till midnight when we were finally discharged.
So then you knew you had to keep her.
Definitely.
Welcome to Secrets of a Sugar Daddy. Here's your host, Marcus.
Hey, welcome to a special edition of Secrets of a Sugar Daddy. This is our remote version, a little on the fly today. Our studio was having technical difficulties, but I have some special people that showed up today, and I definitely wanted to get their thoughts on a few things. So we're just going to jump right into it. I have today Taylor. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I've got a birthday girl in the house. Welcome, Nikki. You're all dressed up for Halloween.
Hi, it's good to be back.
And now let me just describe what Nikki looks like. She's got, of course, the witch's outfit on and a blonde wig, and she looks amazing. Right, Podcast Fanboy?
Absolutely. Would have never known it was her.
All right, so we've got Podcast Fanboy in the house. Welcome back to Arizona.
Thank you. It's good to be here. It's been far too long.
So we got to hang out with you in Cabo San Lucas. Yeah, that was like a couple weeks ago now.
Yeah.
And you spent a couple weeks down there.
A week in Cancun.
With your new bride.
Mm-hmm. That's right. We did a week in Cancun and then 2 weeks in Cabo. So
you were just doing the Mexican thing for like 3 weeks. Are you glad to be back in the U.S.?
I am. It's been a while. No, I've been in the U.S., but I haven't been in Phoenix for 4 months. So.
Yeah. Well, you picked the good time to come back. We're actually out here under a nice little gazebo at a place called Schmooze right next to the studio, and it's a fantastic little venue. It's just beautiful. But anyway, I have a lot of questions for Podcast Fanboy. We really appreciate him taking some time out of his day to come see us. But I wanted to catch up with Taylor a little bit before we move on. How's the OnlyFans coming?
OnlyFans is good. Lots of new exciting things.
Like what?
New toys.
Oh.
I mean, Marcus usually gets to hear about it first thing in the morning, which is kind of funny. Walking it.
So that's one of the interesting things about hiring somebody off of SA is you just really talk about anything.
I know. I'll walk into Marcus's house 8 o'clock in the morning. Guess what I bought? And show him all the wonderful toys. So he gets a kick out of it.
Yeah. And tell people again where they can find that.
It's XO Taylor World on OnlyFans.
And what's your Instagram?
It's Bad Girl Taylor XX.
There you go. So if you want to see Miss Taylor, there's how you find her. All right, let's go to Nikki. Happy fucking birthday.
Thank you. I'm 62 today.
You don't look it.
Podcast Fanboy, does she look 62?
No, not a day over 50.
I'm telling you what. So you people that are coming to Sugarpalooza, you're going to get to meet her, and the ones that met her at the last Sugarpalooza. Now, Nikki kind of stayed in the background a little bit and just kind of, you were more of an observer, but I have a feeling you're going to be a little more active this time.
Yeah, I'm really excited because now I know a lot of the girls are going to be there, and we're already chatting in the girls' chat, and we're anxious to see each other again, and we've been chatting off that chat and on other chats, so I'm super excited.
Yeah, we started the group chat, and we usually started a few weeks before the party to kind of get a common place for questions to be answered and everybody to kind of introduce themselves. You said you're getting pretty fired up after that started, right?
Yeah, I am excited about the concert and food because the food was great last time, the catering and all the people, the excitement, so it's like 2 weeks away.
Yeah. All right. So if you guys want updates about that, they will be nowhere else except Patreon. And you can find that at patreon.com/Secrets of a Sugar Daddy podcast. We're going to show behind the scenes videos. Of course, we'll, like we always do, we blur out some faces to protect the anonymity of those involved, but you'll get a great idea of what's going on and how much fun those parties are. Now, we're already identifying a few concerts for next year. We had looked at Lady Gaga, but unfortunately, we have some conflicts on that date, so that one will no longer be considered. But Bon Jovi is announcing an American tour, and he hasn't set the dates yet, but that would be a fantastic concert. So we'll see if we can make that one work. But there's all kinds of great concerts coming to Arizona next summer, and we'll pick one out, and that will be the place will hold Sugarpalooza 8. Can't believe it's that many. All right, Podcast Fanboy, are you officially married?
I am officially married, at least in the eyes of the Republic of Georgia.
Oh, is that where it was?
Yeah,
okay.
Tbilisi, Georgia, the capital of that fine country.
Now, wasn't Georgia a part of Russia at one time?
Part of the Soviet Union.
Oh, Soviet Union.
Most of the places that we've met, with a few exceptions, were former Soviet republics because that's one of the few places Russians can travel without needing a visa.
Right. So. Now, you guys just did like just the paperwork, right? Courthouse type thing?
We went into the most beautiful government building I've ever seen in my life. It looked like a piece of art as architecture, and very modern and very efficient. Had to grease a few palms, to get everything.
Wait. What? You had to bribe a few people?
Well, bribe is probably too strong of a term, but we did have to pay some people to get privileged treatment in the process. Otherwise, it would have taken too long.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Did you know that going up front, or you kind of started learning that as you went?
The latter. Learned as we went, but I didn't really care. It wasn't that expensive to do. Those are very low-cost countries.
Yeah.
So it was easy to do, just to expedite things.
So what month was that?
September last year.
Oh, a year ago.
Yeah.
Oh, you've been secretly married for over a year.
I've been a little sly on that point.
All right, so just to remind you, and I have so many questions, even though we spend a lot of time with them, I still have questions. You are 68?
That's correct.
And she is?
26.
The ultimate sugar baby.
You're right. She would never think of it that way.
Yeah.
But, you can call a spade a spade. That's definitely a spade, so.
And, of course, I'm down there. I'm, 57, and Alejandra's 28. So, I don't have much room to talk. We've got quite a spread. And then when we were in Cabo, Lily and Trucker were there. Now, they only have, I think, 7 or 8 years difference, so it's not that big.
No, there's more of a traditional age gap,
But did you get any strange looks?
I don't seem to notice them that much.
You don't give a shit.
I don't care anyway. I expect them everywhere I go. It's just part of the deal, but I don't notice them that much. I don't know if I'm just oblivious or I screen it out or what. But
Well, she was absolutely gorgeous, and she's towering, like very statuesque. The first time I met her was at the condo, and I was turned around. I think I was talking to Alejandra or something, and she walked up behind me. I turned around, and I had to look up.
She is very tall, especially when she has those heels on. So I look up to her sometimes as well, and I'm not that short. So
Yeah. So that was our first meeting of this Russian beauty. Her English, how is her English?
Her English is very, very good conversationally. Now, vocabulary, there are a few words that she has no idea what they mean, but to get her meaning clear across in a sentence is no problem at all.
Yeah. Now, has this been a challenge?
Not particularly. It's been good for some laughs, though. I don't know if I should tell you the fencing story from Italy, but...
I think you did, but let's go over that because that is a funny story.
Yeah, during the Olympics last year, we were in Italy, Genoa and Milan, and watching Italian TV, the only Olympic event that we saw the entire time, other than USA basketball, was fencing.
Okay.
And it was in Italian. So, I mean, I don't know the rules of fencing that well, so I had no idea what was going on the whole time. But it was the Olympics, so we decided to watch. Well, we'd been out one day, and we came back to the apartment, and I said, "Do you want to watch something on TV?" And she said, "Yeah, let's turn on the Olympics. Let's watch some fisting."
Fisting. Taylor, what do you think of that?
A different image comes to mind. How long have you known your bride?
Just under 2 years now, yeah.
And I have another question. So, because I recently got out of a relationship, what made you realize that this was the one to marry?
That's a great question. The best answer I can give is you just kind of have to experience her up close and personal. But, A, she's beautiful, and I've always sought that in my life. But B, she's very direct. She says what's on her mind. She really has no filter. And I like that, although it can create some awkward...
And we did experience that in Cabo.
Yeah, yes, you did. But she tries to portray herself as a real badass, kind of a hard-edged meanie. And yeah, she has that element to her. But deep down inside, she is very soft, kind, and gentle. I saw her do gestures to people in Europe, in various places, started in Italy, that really touched me. For example, we were sitting outdoors at a little cafe in Milan on a back street. We were the only people there. And the proprietress, the lady that was serving us, was an older woman, probably in her 80s, kind of a little bit hunched over. And she clearly did not like us being there. She was downright rude, and I was getting a little annoyed. But we sat it out and had our drink, whatever it was. And as we left, my wife, well, we weren't married then, my girlfriend at the time, went up to this old woman and just hugged her and embraced her and told her that she was just a sweet, wonderful woman. And this is after the woman had treated us like the dirt the whole time. Mm-hmm. I was so impressed by that because I certainly wasn't feeling that. And I thought, she's a better person than me when it get right down to it. So this is a pretty good combination.
You're listening to Secrets of a Sugar Daddy.
Are high-interest credit cards or personal loans weighing you down? Unlock gives homeowners a smarter option. With a home equity agreement, you can tap into your home's equity for cash today. There are no monthly payments. Here's how it works. Unlock provides funds upfront and in exchange shares in a portion of your home's future value. That means you keep control with the flexibility to use your equity your way. Pay off bills, invest in home improvements, or set aside savings for peace of mind. For thousands of homeowners, Unlock has been the key to moving forward without the pressure of another payment. Put your equity to work for you. Visit unlock.com to learn more about a home equity agreement. That's unlock.com to learn more.
Terms and conditions apply. Not all homeowners will qualify. Not available in all states. Actor Portrayal. Home equity agreements are offered by Unlock Home Equity Solutions, Inc. In certain states, NMLS number 2657081. Visit www.consumeraccess.org for more info.
Now back to the show with your host, Marcus.
Now, from our past chats with you on this show, you said you met her at a bar, and it wasn't through any sugar dating site or anything like that. And you're not aware that she's ever been on one, or has she?
I'm sure she has not. She hasn't really needed that. She's dated older men her entire adult life. She's been on her own. She was in a job that put her in touch with a lot of very rich and powerful men. So she got her dates that way and didn't really need it. And she knows what a sugar baby is, but she doesn't view herself that way at all, even though technically she's the most expensive sugar baby I've ever had.
Yeah, so Lily did have a question regarding that. She wanted me to ask you, has this relationship cost you more than all of your sugar babies combined?
No, it has not, because I've had some big.
Not yet.
Yeah, I've had some big numbers with ones before. I mean, really big. You know, starting them in a business that kind of big. But no, but it's a big hit every month. You know.
Well, I know she wants a really fancy car.
Yes.
If she gets over to the U.S.
She does. That might have to be negotiated to some degree, because I don't know about that price tag.
Yeah, I've seen the prices. I think it was maybe the Lamborghini Urus that she has her eye on. That's a nice car.
It's a beautiful car, very stylish for an SUV type.
Yeah.
But oh my God, that number is frightening.
Right. So you guys basically had a traditional relationship, and so here you're kind of mixing the worlds when we visited, because we all met through sugar dating. And so there was an interesting song and dance that we kind of had to do to not really get into all that.
No, that's right. And I felt kind of bad about that, actually, because I enjoy the repartee of the sugar world and my friends that are in it, and just being able to talk very openly about it. But she is of a very traditional mind in a slightly different sense. I mean, you always talk about how sugar dating can be considered traditional, where the man's supporting the woman, but she is not of that mind, but she is of the mind that the man needs to take care of the woman, but you don't call it a sugar baby situation, okay? Even though, you know, potato, you know, it's 6 of one, half dozen of another. But she would actually be a little offended by that. And she's also very jealous, and she doesn't want to hear, and she knows that I was a sugar daddy, you know, before I met her. But she doesn't want to know anything about my past experiences in that.
Now that could provide some challenges, because you know, you like to be free and open and talk honestly with somebody, and you kind of got to keep that part, you know, away.
You're right. That's probably my least favorite part of the entire relationship, quite honestly. I wish she would be a little bit more forgiving of the fact that I had a sex life before I met her, but she wants to think I was a virgin the day she walked into that restaurant in Italy. So,
well, she's 26. Do you think she'll mature out of that? Because that is kind of a youthful type of a thinking.
That's a great question. I guess time will tell.
Yeah. I know that Alejandra's 28, and for some reason she's very accepting of that, and we can talk openly about it, and I'm not jealous of her and she's not jealous of me. We actually laugh about our experiences, so that's kind of a freeing feeling. And I know you're kind of bound up a little bit about dancing on eggshells. I danced on eggshells with my ex-wife.
Yeah.
There's just some things I could not talk about.
Right.
So it made for some challenges, but hopefully you can get past those.
I hope so. I would like to be able to interact freely with my friends in this world and her at the same time without you guys worrying about slipping up. But honestly,
because I almost slipped up a few times. It was very difficult.
But you know, honestly, I think in a lot of cases she's going to miss it anyway, not hear the point or understand it. Because when Americans talk quickly to one another, it's hard for her to pick everything up.
Yeah, and we talked a little bit in code too.
Yeah, we did. We did, for sure. I would love for her to come around. You know, I used to kind of brag about being the least jealous person in the world.
I remember having that conversation with you, and Lily absolutely loved that. That's why you guys got along really well.
That's right. I mean, I'd ask Lily to tell me everything.
Yeah, and when she told me that, I was like, really? And she's like, yeah, he says he's not jealous.
No, it was tremendous. I guess, though, my mindset changed when I met her. We'll call her Natasha. When I met Natasha, my mindset changed in the sense that I wasn't jealous anymore, but because she wanted me to restrict what I would say to her, I kind of quit asking her about her relationships as well, just to kind of balance it out. So I will still ask her about situations, and she still has all of her exes contacting her all the time. Even when she blocks them, they find a way around it, and they...
Now, these exes, are they from just all over? Are they from Russia? Where are they from?
Let's see. One's from Italy, one's from Turkey, one's from Armenia.
Oh, wow.
He's actually an American Armenian who lives in Armenia, and one is from Moscow. So, yeah.
Well, so she has exes. She should know that people date around.
You would think.
All right.
No, you're right. But I've also made it clear that I'm open to hearing about that. I wish she would tell me more.
I love hearing about somebody's background because that's what makes them the person they are today.
No, I agree, and I don't know. It's just a little. Maybe it's a kink that I have a little bit.
I might have the same one.
Yeah, I kind of like to hear about that stuff, but she is. When we first met, she would tell me a lot, and I'd kind of push until she was getting irritated by it. Now, I can't really bring it up because she gets irritated right away, so.
Yeah, well, you definitely have some challenges ahead. One thing that we were looking for, and of course, we're going to be a little judgmental, is if she was playing a game with you or if she really loved you, and she was all over you the whole time we were there.
When Taylor asked me what led me to really fall for her willingness and eagerness to show affection constantly was really big to me, because I've been with people that didn't really like that. She actually loves it too much, and I have to push her off once in a while. But
same with Alejandro, and she's just like, give me a kiss, come here, give me a kiss, give me a hug. I'm like, can I just eat dinner?
No, I understand what you're saying. I'm kind of the same way.
Yeah. Well, she definitely seemed genuine there. Taylor?
I definitely do think it's a green flag that she doesn't want to be looked at as your sugar baby. Because I know in my last relationship, even though that we did meet on Seeking, I never looked at him like a sugar daddy. I mean, we immediately started dating. I didn't look at him like that at all. So I definitely do think it's a green flag.
All right, Nikki?
When will she be able to come to the United States?
Oh, there's the golden question of the hour.
That is the magic question. We applied, and we've actually applied for a fiancé visa as opposed to a spousal visa, because we were told by all the immigration lawyers that it's a faster process, even though spousal is a little more certain, although I doubt that now. We submitted our application for the fiancé visa on October 1st of 2024, so over a year ago. It took 8 months to process that, and that was the time we were told to expect, so that was okay. We had that application approved on June 17th of this year, but then it has to go to the National Visa Center, and they will issue you a case number. And it took 4 months to make the trip from the USCIS to the National Visa Center, when all they could do is put it in the U.S. mail and it'd be there in 3 days, or push send on an email and it'd be there instant. 4 months.
Oh, man.
Then it has to go, they get a case number, and that allows us to then schedule an interview in this case, Poland, because we don't have an active embassy in Russia. However, now, and I know Taylor has a question, I'll finish this up in a second, but now the trick is going to be getting her to Warsaw, Poland, because Russians cannot travel directly to Poland. So,
wow, you've bit off a lot here.
It is. I mean, we're 13 months into it now, and we're now at the whim of the Hungarian government's willingness to give her a Schengen visa so she can fly to Budapest and then from Budapest go to Warsaw. So.
You're listening to Secrets of a Sugar Daddy.
Are high-interest credit cards or personal loans weighing you down? Unlock gives homeowners a smarter option. With a home equity agreement, you can tap into your home's equity for cash today. There are no monthly payments. Here's how it works. Unlock provides funds upfront and in exchange, shares in a portion of your home's future value. That means you keep control with the flexibility to use your equity your way. Pay off bills, invest in home improvements, or set aside savings for peace of mind. For thousands of homeowners, Unlock has been the key to moving forward without the pressure of another payment. Put your equity to work for you. Visit unlock.com to learn more about a home equity agreement. That's unlock.com to learn more.
Terms and conditions apply. Not all homeowners will qualify. Not available in all states. Actor Portrayal. Home equity agreements are offered by Unlock Home Equity Solutions, Inc. In certain states, NMLS number 2657081. Visit www.consumeraccess.org for more info.
Now back to the show with your host, Marcus.
So how long do you get to spend with her at a time when you guys get to visit each other?
It's usually 17 days to 3 weeks on a normal basis. And we were seeing each other. We'd do 4 or 5 weeks off, when I'd be back in the U.S. and she'd be in Moscow. And then we'd get together for 17 days to 3 weeks and then part again. Now, when we got to Cabo, I hadn't seen her in 3.5 months.
Well, Podcast Fanboy had a little accident.
12 weeks ago today, I had a near fatal fall while hiking, and it really knocked me back. I had to cancel 2 trips to see her, one to Mexico right after the fall happened, and then one to Europe that we had planned for September. So when the opportunity came to meet her in Cabo, Mexico, Cancun and Cabo, I jumped at that, even though they didn't really want me traveling yet, but I had to. There's no way I could go longer than 3.5 months without seeing her. So,
yeah, and she's like almost upset with you because something keeps coming up.
Yeah. She just thinks it's the most foolish thing she's ever heard, that somebody goes hiking in the mountains. So.
Yeah, and then she's a little upset with you that you had some other blood thing going on, and you're like, I can't control this, yeah. But we can certainly work on getting it fixed.
I don't think she was so much upset about that as just
she wants to see you.
She was depressed because it was just another thing piling on. Now that the hiking fall, she was pissed off at me about. So.
Well, just she sugar babies. When you date us old men, you just gotta expect shit happens, right?
That's right. Unfortunately.
All right. Well, I have a burning question for you. So, what were her thoughts of us after we left? What was the talk behind closed doors?
She liked you guys a lot. She's always self-conscious because she doesn't know what to say all the time, and she felt like she was too quiet at times.
She was very quiet, and we were having a hard time interpreting that.
Yeah, and if there's background noise, that's particularly hard for her to understand the conversation. So she felt a little left out, not purposely by anybody, just by the circumstances. And she felt bad that she wasn't interacting as much as she could have. But she really liked you guys. She loved Trucker. I'll tell you that.
Everybody loves Trucker.
And she thought he was a great guy. But she sent me a beautiful message, I don't know, a few days ago after I got back from Mexico, where she was talking about how great this trip was for many reasons. She got to meet my daughter and grandkids.
And apparently they got along fabulously.
Better than I could have dreamed of. My daughter has never liked any of my exes.
Yeah.
Including her mother. But then she said, I was so happy to be able to share this time with your family and your friends. They're clearly people that care about you. And she said, you're going to be going through a lot over the next couple of months. Don't hesitate to reach out to them because I know they will help you. So she was very, very happy with the whole experience, even though she was self-conscious about her lack of engagement at times.
Well, I can understand that because I went out to dinner last night with Alejandra and her mother and her brother. It was his birthday.
I saw that.
And those three were talking Spanish to each other the whole time. Now, I know Spanish, some, but I've got to listen. There was a lot of background noise, and I've got to be able to hear it, and they've got to pronunciate, and a lot of times they'll speak in slang. So it's very hard for me to participate in the conversation.
No, I understand that completely.
Yeah. So I can understand that. We just didn't know how to interpret. We couldn't tell if she was enjoying herself, if she was having fun, if she didn't like us. We didn't get a bad vibe. We never really thought that she didn't like us, but we just I don't know.
No, that's understandable. And I don't know if you remember that night at Negro Rosa, the wild restaurant we went to.
That was a really cool experience.
That was a lot of fun, and she shocked me because she heard them announce that they're going to do, I don't know what they call it, some type of dance, but it's kind of like...
where they all got in a line and danced around the restaurant.
And all she's ever told me is she doesn't like dancing. She doesn't want to go dancing. I'd said, I'd love to take you dancing. And next thing I know, she's up there in that line.
Yes, she was.
Hopping around, and I'm talking to you and Tucker like, I can't believe my eyes. Like, what is going on here?
Well, that restaurant was pretty special. They had everybody at every table up in there dancing around. And it was almost sad when the food came because you had to sit down and eat.
No, exactly. But, I asked her afterwards what was going on there. And there was a very specific purpose to why she did that. She said, because that was the place that was hardest for her to hear because it was pretty loud in there. And she was quiet. And she said, I just wanted your friends to see that I know how to have fun and I can be fun. So I went and did that. I said, well, that's great, but I wish you would tell me next time because I would have liked to have not been so shocked when it happened. So,
all right, Nikki.
When she is able to come to the U.S., do you guys have to get married again in the U.S.?
Great question.
Great question. Yes, we will have to because we don't want to now pull out the Georgian marriage certificate and say, oh, by the way, we're already married. So we will get married in another civil ceremony here in Phoenix.
They just don't recognize the marriage certificate here?
Well, I don't know if they would or not. They probably would, but remember, we applied for a fiancé visa.
Oh, that's right.
So we have to get married again. That's the 90-day fiancé thing. That's, we have 90 days to get married once she gets here.
Gotcha. So you guys stayed in Cabo, another week after we were there?
Yeah.
So how'd that go?
It was great. We went to a lot of soccer games and spent a lot of time with the family. We went fishing one day. That wasn't a great experience. Had a crappy boat. It was a big boat, but the generator was broken, so the air conditioning didn't work. Everybody except my son-in-law and I got sick. Kira, because of the diesel smoke that was backing up in the back. The other three, my daughter and the two kids, got just seasick as hell. And we caught the one fish, which was early on in the trip, and nothing after that.
Well, every day is a fishing day, but not every day is a catching day.
That's exactly right.
So it doesn't sound like it was much of a catching day.
No, and our boat captain made a mistake. We caught that marlin early on, and we had told him before, we just want to stay in close and catch dorado and whatnot, wahoo, something that we can eat. And they got word that, and we specifically said, we don't want to go out for tuna, it's too far. They got word that there was a bunch of porpoises gathering. That's an indication of tuna. So they hauled ass out to that area, and we tried for 2 hours to hook a tuna and failed. So then our trip was basically over, and we came back with nothing. So,
okay, well, that's one for the books.
Yeah, no, it was. It was a bucket list item for her, although she wasn't impressed.
Yeah.
So.
You're listening to Secrets of a Sugar Daddy.
Are you ready to finally make that dream a reality? Maybe it's updating your kitchen, paying down high-interest credit cards, or covering tuition. Your home is more than where you live. It's also your most powerful asset. At Unlock, we make it simple to turn equity into options. With a home equity agreement, you can access cash today without taking on monthly payments. Imagine the freedom to invest in your home, reduce financial stress, or finally start that big project you've been putting off. It's your home. It's your future. Unlock it today. Visit unlock.com to learn more about a home equity agreement. That's unlock.com to learn more.
Terms and conditions apply. Not all homeowners will qualify. Not available in all states. Actor Portrayal. Home equity agreements are offered by Unlock Home Equity Solutions, Inc. In certain states, NMLS number 2657081. Visit www.consumeraccess.org for more info.
Now back to the show with your host, Marcus.
All right, so at the end of the trip, you went your way and she went hers?
We did, and she is back in Moscow now, partying it up with her friends.
I follow her on Instagram. It looks like she's having a lot of fun.
She is. She thinks it's going to be her last month in Moscow. I hope that's the case.
That would be fantastic.
And she's got two very close friends, and she loves them, and they have a good time together. She's out with, I'm sure, well, let's see. It's only midnight there, so she'll be out another 5 hours with that one. So,
now, when we showed up to Cabo, there was the most beautiful bouquet of red roses. How many was in there?
There's 101.
101 red roses.
And that's important. Slavic women love roses. They love flowers, but don't do it chintzy.
No, you don't just buy her a dozen.
And it can't be an even number. And
Why is that?
I don't know, bad luck or something. I guess it curses the relationship if you do it, or if you do under 100. So 101, which, I did that in Armenia, and she does it in Moscow for herself and pretends they're from me. But they're affordable,
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what does 101 roses cost? I have no idea.
Well, in Mexico, it cost me $480. Okay. But here, if you look at what a dozen roses cost, $150 delivered in a vase. God, if you multiply that by 8.5, I warned her. I said, don't be expecting this that often in America, because...
Well, it depends on the season. Yeah, don't try that during Valentine's Day.
No, definitely not.
You gotta pay a premium. Yeah, so that was a really nice thing. They were just beautiful. I think Alejandra got her picture next to him. We kind of pretended that they were hers. Hope you don't mind.
No, not at all. And the more the merrier.
I was trying to take a little bit of credit for it, but we laughed about it.
I'm glad to see some value out of that ridiculous purchase. So I hope Trucker and Lily took some too.
Well, we were just talking. Trucker thinks he might have bought more than that in New York City, but they served a different purpose because he was getting engaged, and they were showered all over they were spread all over the floor and everywhere. I think he spent what he was saying maybe $1,500 on flowers.
Not surprised. I saw the Instagram post for that extravaganza, and that was amazing.
Yeah, he did it right. I've never been to a proposal that well thought out, well planned. He had multiple cakes and all that. How was your proposal? What did you guys do?
It was in an apartment in Genoa that we were renting for the week, and she kind of knew that it was coming, but she also wasn't sure I was going to show up. And she made me take pictures of every airport along the way before I got it, because she did not believe I was actually going to come back. And so she knew I was coming. Then next thing I knew, I'm knocking on the door, and she sees me, and she jumps into my arms. Of course, she hauls me into the bedroom, and
she cracked your head open, didn't she?
This scar right here is courtesy of that experience. And so we spent, this was on a Sunday, we spent the rest of that day in an emergency room in the largest hospital in Genoa, 8 hours. And that was another time when I knew I'd found the right one, because, she could have gotten up and left at any time. And she hadn't eaten that day, and she was starving. And I said, please go out and get something to eat. She wouldn't leave. She stayed there from 4 p.m. till midnight when we were finally discharged.
So then you knew you had to keep her.
Definitely.
Well, I remember you were actually a sponsor of one of our Sugar Paloozas, and you just got up and left to be by her side because you promised her you would be there.
That's right. Yeah, you don't want to break a promise to a Slavic woman.
Yeah. You don't want to break a promise to a Hispanic woman either.
I hear you, brother.
Yeah. Well, good. So we're just now waiting, and you're going to head over to Poland soon?
I don't know if I'm going to go on that trip. If she really wants me to, I will.
She doesn't need you there?
No, I don't have to be there. My problem is once she gets to the U.S., we're not going to be able to travel internationally for a long time.
Yeah, once she gets in, she's in.
Yeah, she's in. So my daughter lives in London, and I need to go see her. So I'm probably going to go to London for a week at the end of November, beginning of December, and I'm not going to want to follow up with another trip to Warsaw right after that.
Yeah.
Unless I could combine it into one trip, I don't know. But it gets kind of expensive too. So.
Well, how are you feeling physically? You had the broken ribs and the punctured lung. How is that?
It's not great.
It's not great.
No, I'm very weak on my left side. I still feel crap in my ribs in the back, on the left side back. It's very uncomfortable.
Well, let me ask you a very personal question. A 26-year-old might have a high, libido. How are you going to keep up with her?
That is a great question. You are right on your first point. It's the highest libido I have ever lived with in my life.
Well, it seemed like it. She was very affectionate.
I was having a hard time keeping up before the injury. But she figures out how to deal with my problem, one way or the other. She's sensitive to it, but she also is not going to deprive herself of what she enjoys most. So
right. Do you think this is ever going to kind of wear on her that you're going to be in your 70s soon?
You know, that's a great question. I really don't think so. When she was younger, I mean, like I said, she's always dated older guys. And when she watched porn, she always watched old-G porn. That's her favorite.
Oh, she does?
Yeah, she likes old guys.
I've watched a few of that.
Yeah, she likes old guys, and young guys do not appeal to her, which is weird, but, you know, that's the way she's
Well,
made.
it's the same with Alejandra.
Really?
Like, she just has always dated guys 20, 30 years older, even 40 years older than her.
Yeah, no, that's exactly with Natasha. She won't look twice at a younger guy, but man, we see some of these old saggy guys on the beach, and
And I was one of those old saggy guys on the beach. But anyway, we're going to lose that 5 pounds before Sugar Palooza. Well, thanks for sharing. Anything else that you have to say about this? We're excited to see where it goes.
Well, I'm excited too.
Like, it's going to be fun when she gets here and we can all go out and experience America.
Yeah, I'm really excited about showing her America. Now, the risk is that Hungary does not grant her a Schengen visa, and we lose our window of opportunity to have her interview at the U.S. Embassy in Warsaw. If that happens, we've got some very difficult decisions to make, because if we want to be together, I got to move somewhere, you know, and she gotta move somewhere. And probably it would be either South Africa or Mexico, one of the two. So the problem is she's smart, and, you know, we went out and looked at houses in Cabo when we were there.
Well, you have a daughter that lives there.
Yeah, exactly. And that'd be perfect for me because I'd have family. It's only a 2-hour flight to Phoenix, so I can check in on things here whenever I need to. We're in the right time zone for college football.
Hey, priorities, right?
No, exactly. Whereas South Africa is beautiful, and you can live like a king for way less than Mexico even. But it's so dang far from everything. I mean, it's a 36-hour trip to get back here from there.
I've never been. I noticed you. I know you guys went because I saw it on social media, but I've never gone to South Africa. It seems like a far away.
Yeah, but she's very level-headed, and she was really excited about Mexico at first. And when we saw these houses, it was a new development. She loved them and said, "Yeah, I could live here." But then she started thinking, "Well, what happens when you die?" She said, "You know." She wants to have a child too, which that's a whole nother story. But she said, what am I going to do here? I mean, yes, I'd have your family, but I don't know that we'll be that close. Am I just going to pack up and give everything up and move back to Moscow? So she's really thinking about that.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, because falling in love with somebody is one issue, and then facing reality is another.
Exactly, and we don't have that issue in the U.S. She could see herself being here long term because she'd have friends here who'd speak the language, and she will have, you know, mixed herself into the community and wouldn't feel the urge to leave. But, you know, Mexico's a different thing. I mean, it's nice, but it's still a third world country, and that's really not her style at all. So
now, if she gets to the U.S., what do you think she'll have an issue with being a little bit homesick and family and all that?
I really don't. I think she'll miss her friends a little bit, but her family has not been good to her entire life, so I don't think she'll miss them at all. She'll be kind of glad to be away in many respects. I mean, she'll miss her younger brother and maybe her grandmother a bit. Her mother, no, she won't miss him. Her father, she never knew until, I don't know, 6 months ago when I encouraged her to reach out and meet him. He's in the Russian military. But he has not followed up at all, like shown any interest. So she's not really leaving much family behind. And honestly, the friends are rather new. She's close to them now, but I don't think it's going to be something that will make her homesick from Moscow. The city, I think she'll miss. She loves that city. But again, it's only got 3 nice months of the year, and it's pretty dreary there right now.
Well, if you can get her to Scottsdale, she's going to love it.
I think she's going to thrive here. I really do. It's just, you know, fingers crossed that we can get that Schengen visa and get her here. So,
well, again, thanks for joining us, and we really appreciate you helping us out with since we had a little technical issue today. But this is actually beautiful. I may do this more often as long as the audio came out good, and I think it will.
Yeah, this isn't bad at all, and I'm really glad I got the chance to meet Nikki and Taylor. This has been fun. I've heard them, you know, before, but I've never met them.
What do you think of Nikki in person, huh?
Incredible.
Yeah.
Amazing. Very impressive.
Now, she's still very new, but I think she's gonna do all right.
You're gonna slay it. You're gonna slay it. You know, you might want to take a profile picture with the witch's hat on.
Oh, you think?
Yeah.
Now, do you have big plans tonight, Nikki?
Yeah, there's parties all over the place, friends, social things going on because it's my birthday, and then tomorrow, this weekend, there's going to be more.
So you're going to be partying for the next couple weeks.
Yes, yeah, it's going to lead right into Sugarpalooza.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Well, thanks for joining us on your birthday. Appreciate that. And Taylor, lovely seeing you as always.
I like being here as always.
All right. Well, if you guys want to share your crazy sugar dating stories, you know where to find us, secretsofasugardaddy.com, or you can follow us on Instagram. All right. Until next time. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us. If you'd like to connect or even be on the show, we'd love to hear from you at secretsofasugardaddy.com.
Are you ready to finally make that dream a reality? Maybe it's updating your kitchen, paying down high-interest credit cards, or covering tuition. Your home is more than where you live. It's also your most powerful asset. At Unlock, we make it simple to turn equity into options. With a home equity agreement, you can access cash today without taking on monthly payments. Imagine the freedom to invest in your home, reduce financial stress, or finally start that big project you've been putting off. It's your home. It's your future. Unlock it today. Visit unlock.com to learn more about a home equity agreement. That's unlock.com to learn more.
Terms and conditions apply. Not all homeowners will qualify. Not available in all states. Actor Portrayal. Home equity agreements are offered by Unlock Home Equity Solutions, Inc. In certain states, NMLS number 2657081. Visit www.consumeraccess.org for more info.